Happy Friday, everybody. It's crime tonight. Hey, hey, hey. Happy Friday, everybody. How are you doing? I hope y'all have got your mommy juice, your cocktail. You're going to need a cocktail for this one. Just saying. Good evening, good evening. We've got Rosie, we've got Nisi, Adele is here, Tammy, Annie. I want to know, what is it? Or maybe I don't want to know. We've got Chelsea's here, yay! Joan, Diamond Girl is here, yay! Who else came in? I'm getting caught up. I'm getting there. Maribel, Margaret. Laura's Block Ministries is here. Hey, girl, hey. Lorena McKenzie, yay. Okay, am I caught up? I think I'm caught up. Hello to all of you. I'm so glad you're here. Are y'all having a good Friday? Are you ready for the weekend? I'll let you spin your own. He let you. Oh, I see. Oh my goodness, y'all. We have a special person in here. Sammy. Look, it's me on TV or on your phone. I'm not sure where you're watching, but hey, how are you? She is family, everyone. Say hello to Sammy. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my gosh. You picked a good one tonight to watch, Sammy. Just saying. You picked a good one to watch. He called your sister for backup. Hey, she's already mad at you about that thread. She probably will help him out. You got one of those Alexas and you grilled her on serial killers and Lorena Bobbitt. Oh my, that's funny. Oh, look, everybody's saying hi. Oh, that is nice. I'm so glad you're here, Sammy. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. This is wild. This one is wild. And the audience got a little bit they got a little wild themselves the last time we talked about this. We had a little precursor to this. Little I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Yeah, they got spicy. They got a little spicy. Oh, she got the thread. Oh, that's good. That's good. So tonight we are talking about Lorena and John Bobbitt. So, how many of you remember hearing about this when it first came out? I do. And before I forget, I have something here and I wanted to say thank you, Joan. Thank you. I went to the mailbox and this was in my mailbox from Joan. My friend, you brighten my world. Look at them. They're so cute. They're catching fireflies. So thank you, Joan. That's very, very sweet. And I really appreciate you sending that to me. I really appreciate it. Yes, she did a little bit of a surgery. She did. Okay. So here we go. Are y'all ready? Let me bring in my hands and show you what I'm working on. I have just changed colors. I'm not sure that I'm really done with my research on this, to be honest with you. Let's do it this way for now. Still working on the knitted, what I think is going to be a cowl, and it's definitely getting long enough to be a cowl. Happy Friday, Colleen. To see it is that long. So, I mean, I could stitch it together, but I want to do just a little bit more. Although I don't know, because I'm down to the I'm at the where I started with the color that I started with. So actually I could do the ribbing. Could do a few rows of this right here and then do the ribbing and then just stitch them together. Hey Joyce, happy Friday. Glad y'all are here. We have to get together and have dinner again soon, Sammy. We had dinner together a few months back. It has been a while now, but we had fun. We had a good dinner. We had Mexican food here. I've got my Texas cup, my coffee. And no, it is not spiked. It probably should be for this crowd. We're going to have start to get a little wild on us, I'm sure. Maybe once I finish my coffee. Oop, my chair doesn't want to get. Hi, Karen. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. And for those of you that are watching, lurking and watching, hello to you guys too. For those of you that are watching this back, I sure appreciate it. And thank you very much. And hello to you too. So yeah, I just brought in the very first color that I started with. It's this orange color. So I got my nails did today. She did a really nice job. Put some flowers on there for me. She was so excited when I said, oh, just whatever. And I told her this time to do 4 nails different. So pretty. I really, really like them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I gotta turn my fan on. Hopefully it won't make too much noise. Thank you, everyone. And I got them cut back a little bit. They were driving me crazy. Serbs has left. He was under the desk, but I don't know where he went. I think he went to go get Mr. Fiber to let him out for the night. So we are talking about John Wayne Bobbitt and Lorena Bobbitt. June 23rd of 1993 in Manassas, Virginia. Law enforcement, including the local police department, the county law enforcement, they were called to respond to a call. Now, they were all a little anxious about saying very much on the radio about what it is they were talking about, because, you know, just like they still do, reporters in the day would have been listening to the police radio, right? And one of the officers was saying something like, you know, at that time, there were 7 words you didn't say on TV. We certainly weren't going to say the word penis. So they were being very careful not to say that word, you know. They called it an appendage. But then, but the call was that in the midst of a domestic occurrence, a woman had removed her husband's appendage, and this appendage was now missing. It's missing in action. And some law enforcement were even believing that the wife might have swallowed it. I'm not kidding. They really thought she did. Hi, Sharon. Yes, George Carlson, he sure did. He did a whole skit on the 7 words you can't say on TV. Hi, Sharon. Okay. Well, it was different back then, let me tell you. Now, the man, John Wayne Bobbitt, was taken to the hospital by his friend, who was at that time, his friend was sleeping on the couch. There was a surgeon who was called, and this surgeon was a micro surgeon. So this was just not your average stitch 'em up, surgeon. This was a micro surgeon. Probably something that, people, would want if you didn't want a scar. Yeah, possibly missing a no action is yes. I told you it might get rowdy in here, y'all. Just saying. Oh my God. Yeah, there we go. Here it comes. I'm wondering if that was probably a joke that came out at the time. It was so small you needed a microsurgeon. Okay, now this doctor said, "Well, do you really want me to come in? Because if you don't have it, there's not much I can do, you know?" So then a call went out to try and find it. They needed to try and find it. So they sent officers over to the scene, including they had scene technicians. They were sent to their apartment. They tried to find it. They looked everywhere. They didn't find it, but they found small trails of blood, and they found some pamphlets about abuse and how to get out of an abusive situation. Hi, Darcia. Thank you. Hey, Linda. Now, Lorena, after cutting off this appendage, leaves with the appendage. She goes to the nail salon where she had been working, and then she went to her friend's house, and this was the owner of the nail salon. Now, on her way, we find out later that on her way to the nail salon, she had thrown the appendage out the window, up and over the car to the other side of the road. Eventually, she winds up at the police station because she went there to report that she had been abused and to tell them that he had assaulted her, to report him. They told her they needed to find it. And she said, well, she threw it out the window by the 7-Eleven. Throw it there by the 7-Eleven in the grass, like a snake in the grass, right? I mean, by the 7-Eleven. It is a wonder. It is a wonder that somebody, or something did not find it. I know. I know. I mean, you see this every day where dogs come out of the woods with an arm or a leg or something that's been in there for a long time, and they find out something has happened to somebody. But can you imagine? Well, I think they were all, from what I am seeing on reports of this, that there were a lot of police officers that were just like, "What happened?" They were incredulous. She did what? Now, there was a mad dash out to the field across from the 7-Eleven, and John's penis was found in the tall grass by an officer who actually stepped on it, but he would not pick it up. Mm-mm. Nope. He said he was a Christian man and he was not going to pick that thing up. Mm-mm. He pointed down to it. There's a picture of him pointing right down at it, going, "It's right there. It's right there." It was carried over to the y'all. It just gets better. It was carried over to the 7-Eleven, where it was placed in a hot dog wrapper with some ice. Hmm. Now, later on, the guy who used to deliver the said ice to the 7-Eleven was interviewed, and he said, "Well, we never got a thank you." Iceman never got a thank you. Can you imagine? See, what does this say about this guy, right? What's it say about the guy? He thanked all the police officers. Okay, later on, he thanked all the police officers. But it's these guys that, other people who helped out that he did not thank. The 7-Eleven workers, that had to have gone and gotten that wrapper for him. The guy that brought the ice. No thank yous whatsoever. Nothing. So the knife that was used. See, now Lorena gets questioned, and they ask her, "What did you do with the knife?" And she said, "Well, I took it to work." And the crime technician that had to go and get this knife, she had to nearly stand on her head in that dumpster to get that knife. She could see it down there with the Kentucky Fried Chicken wrappers and all the other stuff, but she could not just reach in and grab it, so she had to get in after it. She managed to get there before the trash was dumped and get the knife. Now, the doctor who was called in, this microsurgeon's name was Dr. Berman. Now, if I showed you a picture of him today, you guys would say, "Oh, yeah, I remember that guy." He has a very distinct, never pays to be, a peon. That's pretty good. I will bet that they did not then either. I'll bet they were like, "You better check it. Just check it." I don't know what they're doing down there at 7-Eleven, but you better check it. Okay, Dr. Berman, and then Dr. Sane. Now it said Sane. It's Sehn. That's a German name. Who was the urologist, reattached John's appendage very, very successfully. Ironically, while John was on one side of the hospital having his penis reattached, Lorena was on the other side getting a rape kit done. Of course, the media swarm was huge. It was really, really nuts. It was nuts. And a huge controversy started. The men were appalled and they were worried that their wives would do the same thing to them. The women were saying, "Good for her. She did what I've been wanting to do for years." Dr. Berman became a celebrity. You know, he became known as that penis surgeon. The case went international. Of course it did. Well, Dr. Berman said, the biggest thing is when he said that he had put a tourniquet on there to stop the bleeding so he could do what he needed to do. He and Dr. Zen, Dr. Zen's, as the urologist, he just wanted to make sure that the plumbing worked, that he was able to, to pee and do what he needed to do. But Dr. Berman, of course, there was a lot more stress on him. He had to make sure everything functioned. Now, Lorena asked her boss, who was also her friend, for help with the media. She couldn't go anywhere now because she was being bombarded by the media. Her boss was Jana Basutti, and she hired James Lowe to be Lorena's lawyer, and she hired a Hollywood publicist named Alan Haig as someone to help Lorena with the media. Hey Breezy, how you doing? You're on vacation with very little service. Oh, okay. I know I got a message from you earlier, but I was driving and I have forgotten to go back and look. So, yep. I hope you getting some sun and sand, or at least having a good time. Now, long before the trial, Lorena does an interview and a full picture spread for Vanity Fair. She and John both did interviews. They did TV shots over the years. There's been a lot. You can find them everywhere. They both have done lots of media over the years. Now, Lorena needed a lawyer. And she needed a lawyer because she became charged with vicious wounding. She told the detective at the hospital who was interviewing her about what happened that, all right, now if y'all are sensitive, you probably have already left by now because we're not done yet. But she told this detective that it was bad because he always would have an orgasm and not wait for her. He wouldn't wait for her to have one. So she went to the kitchen, she saw the knife, she grabbed it, and she cut his thing off. See you later, Bree. Have fun. Now, that came back to haunt her at the trial, too. Just saying. Not something that they thought was a good reason back then. John turned himself into the authorities and he was released on bond. His charge was marital sexual abuse. The district attorney at the time was Paul Ebert. Now, Paul Ebert said that he was, from then on, he was known as the penis prosecutor. At the time, under the law, to be convicted of spousal rape charge, which carried up to a lifetime sentence, there needed to be a couple of different things, okay? Now we're going to get serious, you guys. Hi, Sally. Well, that's what they were claiming, Nisi. Hi, Kathy. Bam. Well, there were some that said that it might have been because everybody who saw it said, wow, it was a really clean cut. Very clean cut. But now, like I said, we need to get serious for just a minute, okay? I'm not kidding. We need to get serious because she really, really wanted everyone to understand what had been happening to her. But in order for him to get charged and to get prosecuted on this, for it to stick, number one, this is at the time for a spousal rape charge, you had to be separated, so not living together, and the person had to have caused physical damage of some sort. Now, I get it. It was a difficult time. Most of us that this happened to would have said, well, he was my husband. What was I supposed to do? And that was what happened at that time. It was not something that women knew that was actually something that was legal, that had legality to it. So instead, he was charged with malicious sexual assault, which carried up to a 20-year sentence. And his trial came first. Now, we can talk a lot about a lot of other stuff that comes after all this and in between all this and all the stuff that went on. Right this minute, I want to talk about the trials because we do talk about the trials here. Okay? At this time is when cable news like CNN was starting. There were lots and lots of what were called tabloid shows. So all of these magazines and other papers, all of these things that you would see that were tabloids that, women would find them in the grocery store and take them home. I know we still find them, but those were now hitting television and becoming tabloid TV. And we were also starting to get some court TV. There were very, very high profile cases going on because this was, what it was. It was compared to the Kennedy case. It was compared to the Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas thing. It was compared to O.J. Simpson and all of this stuff was going. There was a lot going on at this time. Now, John was found not guilty. The jury did not see any evidence that she was assaulted, and they seemed to believe that Lorena had cut her own panties because someone who was a um, expert said that the panties looked like they were not torn, that they had been cut, and because she worked and had gone to a beauty shop after this happened, that she must have used scissors at the beauty shop, and she must have cut them herself. And the jury just didn't see anything there. But she really wasn't allowed to say the things that she said at her own trial, because the judge at that time said that the only thing that could be brought in to as evidence was anything that had happened within a 5-day time frame. So 5 days before the incident, because he was trying to narrow it down to the incident and what had happened, and only allowed 5 days before that for them to bring in any previous evidence. And that really narrowed things down, and it really made it hard for them to make everyone understand what she had been going through. Now, after John's trial and before Lorena's trial, John's lawyer wanted John to be out of sight because of the media. I think they all knew that this was a guy who was kind of a showboat, that he was, they kind of had, the lawyer kind of had an idea of what he was like by now, and decided, you just need to go disappear for a little bit so we can just let this all settle down before her trial, right? And so his lawyer found a place. It was a ranch outside of Colorado Springs. Can you imagine? Outside of Colorado Springs. And they sends him to this ranch, and he stays there for a little while, and then he finds out that in Colorado Springs at the Hooters, they're having a John Wayne Bobbitt look-alike contest, and he decides he's going to go and participate. And he does. They didn't win. I think he came in second. So he didn't lay low. Let's put it this way. He did not lay low before her trial. Now, Lorena's defense was called irresistible impulse. And this was a form of insanity that they were saying was brought on by her years of abuse. And she was facing 20 years. She met John at a Marine enlisted club, and she was living with a family here in Virginia. Her family was back in Venezuela. She was from Guatemala, and they had moved to Venezuela, and that's where they were living at the time. Okay, it's time to start my ribbing. We're going to start the ribbing now. The ribbing's going to start soon. I know. Very, very much like the tension. Very, very much. Now, nobody. Oh, Serbs is on the bone, y'all. He's on the bone. Nobody else in the family. She was staying with her aunt and her cousins, and nobody else in the family liked John. Oh my goodness. See? See? Gotta watch these girls. 3 by 3. Okay. Nobody, John, he never had any money. Okay. He was always, it was conveniently forgetting his wallet. Not with just Lorena, but everybody said this about him. He'd go out to drink with his buddies, and conveniently he wouldn't have his wallet, and they'd all drink together and everything, and they were like, I don't know, for some reason he didn't have any money. It just, he was always like that. He couldn't keep a job after he got out of the Marines, and Lorena got in trouble. This is long before this happened. It was right after they got married. They had gotten a house and everything, and she got in trouble for shoplifting. And she said that she was shoplifting. Number one, she was doing it because she needed to pay the bills. So she was stealing money from her boss. And number two, she was stealing other things because, you know, he expected her always to be dressed and makeup and pretty all the time. And she needed to buy things to do that. Now, John was arrested for assault and battery against Lorena. Now, those of you that did not know this, I don't know how many of you knew that he actually was arrested. You know, he always said, I never hit her, I never this, I never that, but he was arrested for assault and battery on Lorena. There were lots of witnesses that were put on the stand. There were friends, there were co-workers, there were neighbors, there were customers at the salon. They all talked about this abuse. They all talked about what they saw. They all talked about what they heard and what they saw in the aftermath of what they saw, the bruises. Even friends, by this time, everybody knew what was up. And even friends of John Wayne now said, they look back and they thought, he was a jerk. He was abusing and belittling her. She said she was afraid to leave, afraid of him, and she was worried that she would not get her citizenship. This was going to totally mess up her getting her citizenship, and that he was holding that over her head. You leave, you do that, you're never going to get your citizenship. Nobody's ever going to believe you. You know, all of the things that go along with abuse. Now, he sat on the stand and he said that he never had hit her. However, he signed an affidavit. And the affidavit, he said, yeah, that he had done it. He signed it. He pled guilty of doing so in court. But he gets up there at Lorena's trial and he denies all of it. And they call him out on it. They bring that paperwork in and say, is that your signature? Well, yeah, but they just said I did that and I was made to sign it. Total denial. Lorena got pregnant. Sadly. She thought that would make them both happy. He was furious. And he made her go and get an abortion. He told her, it's me or this baby. And I will get rid of you, and I will never support that child. You will be alone. You will be sent back. All of these things will happen. He threatened her until she went down and she got the abortion. And he said that it was her idea and that her friend Jana had had an abortion. And so she knew people that she could go to. So there was definitely a lot of he said, she said here. He said, she said in this case. Okay, why do I have 4 where I should only have 3? Oh, but I do. We'll just go with it. She also tried to record, this was after the abortion. She tried to record him so that she could take it to a divorce lawyer. He found out and he found it and he pushed her around and he raped her again and he threatened her to hurt her, and nobody ever got to hear the recording. The jury, we're going to move ahead to what happened now. The jury found her not guilty by reason of insanity. She went directly into a care facility because it was a mandate that since she was found with this insanity plea that she had to go and get some rehabilitation. So she went into a care facility. She was had to stay there for a certain amount of time and get help. And John Wayne Bobbitt goes on and he decides that he's going to get into the porn industry. Yeah, he said, she said. He said did I actually say I might have even have said that? He said she said. I think I might have said that. Well, okay. So let's really think about this. At the time, without there being a lot of domestic abuse and things out in the public eye, the Me Too movement, all of the things, you know, um, the laws that started to change, the different organizations that started to come out to help women. I don't think that people in general put a lot of weight into what was really going on in this relationship. I really don't think they did. Nope, wasn't a mommy juice because I hadn't had any yet. You know what? Everybody wanted to see the Frankenweenie. Yep, he became very, very popular. And his movie, his first movie, grossed more money than Deep Throat. But he didn't get much of it. He went into a contract with someone named Murphy. I don't know. And Murphy took most of his money. So he really didn't get much from what it wasn't that impressive. Well, later on, he went ahead and had things enlarged. He went on Oh, he went on everything. He did a lot of stuff with what's his name? Howard Stern. Unbelievable. He he went to the Cadillac Ranch and worked at the Cadillac Ranch in Nevada. He also got in trouble for beating up his girlfriend. Go figure. He has a new girlfriend and she's ticked. She's like, mm-mm, he was not very nice to me. And she goes public with all of it. He was not a nice guy all along. And he still, to this day, he claims that the reason that she did all of this was because he told her that he was going to leave her, that he wanted a divorce, and that she got mad because she didn't want to do without him, and that it was going to ruin her, getting her citizenship, and that she got mad and she just did it just because she got mad at him. That's what he claims. Yeah, imagine that. He got in trouble for it again. And the girls at the Cadillac Ranch said he was an asshole. He was just an asshole. They did not care for him at all. At first, they fell into the whole thing with the fame of it all and all of that stuff. And then they said, he just really was not a nice guy. He started to act with them the way he did with everybody else, and they didn't like him. And his interview that he did not long ago, I had told you guys about that in a previous time. He said something about, all of this stuff that she just, really wanted to get. She just really got mad at him. It had nothing to do. He never hit her. Ever. He still denies it. He still denies that he ever did anything at all. He's not guilty of anything, you guys. Nothing. Oh, okay, Joyce. Have a good walk. Thanks for coming in. Right? It really is kind of a wonder. I'm sure he guarded it like a lot of men were at the time. But I'm telling you guys, this was a very big subject on news TV. There was unbelievable amounts of media sparring, women and men in the media sparring, women on talk shows sparring over this whole thing. I mean, women were like, you know, the people from someone, I think it was the family that Lorena had been living with, and they mentioned something about where she was from, and that they wanted, if anybody could come down during that there was going to be a verdict, and they wanted to be her to have some support there. Anybody that could come down and support her, that they would be, thankful if they could come and do that. And there was a huge turnout of people from Guatemala and Venezuela and all over. There was huge support for her outside that courthouse. I mean, this thing was just it was wild. It was just wild. Yep, I know it. Well, she did throw it away. Now, I did want to tell you guys about what actually happened to Lorena in all of this, okay? I did want to find out when it was, if she ever did get her citizenship, because I believe that she did, but I wasn't sure when it had happened. Sometime, I want to say it was in 1994, after she was released. Okay, after she spent 45 days, okay? 45 days in the mental institution, and then she was released, and now she goes by her maiden name of Gallo, Gallo, and she works as an advocate for victims of domestic violence. She became a U.S. citizen in the summer of 94, and she founded the Lorena Gallo Foundation in 2007 to help victims of domestic violence. So, good job, Lorena. And John Wayne is just still that same good old. He still jokes about this today. He said, "I should have taken this, on the road, and it should have been a comedy routine." He said, "Can you imagine? Gee, I'm glad they found it. It'll look really funny on a milk carton." I mean, he still jokes about it. He's still up for a joke or a beer or hitting the sack with somebody. I mean, whatever. He's up for it, you know. He's not changed at all. Same guy. So that is the story, you guys. Wow. There is a lot more I could have said. There's a lot more we could go into if we wanted to go, we wanted to spread it out. We could. We could spread it out. But I think we're going to leave it at that. Now, if you want to know the reason I even brought this up in the first place, was because of the case of Shabiznis. And it got me to thinking about this case. And the Shabiznis case, that's supposed to be. I know that hour went fast. How old is he? I think he's in his 50s now. I want to say he's in his 50s. Pretty sure. Yes. This is the case I'm talking about. Is the one that got us all talking crap last time. That she this is the case of the girl who cut up her boyfriend after having sex with his dead body. And her name is Shabiznis. I kid you not. Shabiznis. And I've been waiting to hear, because she has not gone. She's supposed to have trial soon, but she has not. There's not been anything set that I know of yet. But I've been waiting to see what was going to happen, because she cut off his penis and his head and put it in a bucket, and his mother found it. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing for his, and I must say, anybody who, what? What? No, he's not 60 yet. He's not 60 yet. If he was born in 67. Uh-uh. Yeah, there we go. See? 50 something. Thank you, Joan, for doing the math. Joan did the math. Whoop, whoop. Go, Joan. I couldn't do the math. It was not working. I was wiggling my toes. It wasn't helping at all. Okay, you guys. So I am waiting for that one to come out. I'm also waiting for Sarah Boone is the one who put her boyfriend in a suitcase. Hers has been pushed to July. Lori Vallow, Shallow Vallow was out laughing. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. I tried to get a new trial, but it just didn't work. No new trial for Lori. Nothing. Sorry about you. Nope. Judge said, nope, nothing new here. So that's a done thing. And what else? I don't know if there's anything else that was new. They're doing that willy nilly melly welly, whatever his name is right now, but I haven't paid much attention to that one. Oh, they got him on video. I'm pretty sure I know where that one's going to go. So I don't know. Y'all know of anything else? Yeah, I can't wait because it's going to be really interesting when she gets up there and tries to tell everybody that we were just playing hide and seek. He willingly got into that suitcase and we were playing hide and seek. And I just forgot. I just forgot. You can't blame me for forgetting. Not going to work. That is not going to work. Nobody's going to believe that. Gosh, I hope not. I hope nobody believes that she actually. We might, if you guys want to, we can play that interview. Anybody want to watch that Sarah Boone interview? Who wants to watch that together? Leave me a comment in the below if you want to watch the Sarah Boone interview. Talk about a narcissist, and then here if you guys want to, because it's really really something. It would be fun to watch that, right? Before her trial. Because we are all out to get her. There is no way she can get a fair trial. If you listen to her, it's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt, according to her and her letters. Do what? Sarah Bone what? He confessed? Ooh, I did not know he confessed. This is why we haven't seen anything, I will bet you. Okay, y'all just hold up a minute. Let me see if I can find that. Joan, you're going to put me down a rabbit hole tonight. Give me a minute. Let me look it on my phone. Let me just look on my phone. When did that come through? Was that today? Come on, give it to me. I had not heard that one. Oh, she is going to be a nightmare to defend. Well, this business girl is not going to be a whole lot of fun either. She beat up on her lawyer. She's got a new one. I think I do need to circle back. He's in bad shape? He's in bad shape. What do you mean is there something wrong with him? He confessed multiple times behind bars. Ooh, he is in bad shape. What, is he not eating? Is he not eating? Look at this. From when he was arrested to now. Ooh, it's not a legal confession. He does look like hell. Hey, Gene. Defense lawyer Bradley Rossi argued that while Allen made incriminating statements implicating himself in the crime, he said they should be discounted in light of his client's apparently flagging mental health. Rossi and co-counsel Andrew Joseph Baldwin also claimed Allen's alleged confessions were not consistent with his past denials. At 1 minute, Rick is saying one thing, and another minute he's saying something else. Interesting, though. So he also might have made a letter to the judge. Okay, I'll look this up, see what I can find, you guys, okay? Yes, Kathy, this is what we were talking about. Welcome in. We're kind of going over other cases right now because we finished with that, and now we're talking about other things that are going on. Okay, you guys, I went to Joann's today. I'll show you on a later date what I picked up. I did, however, do a video. There is no, it's just a little shopping for you and a little update. And I will probably make that, it's already uploaded and ready to go, but I will make that public after here when we get done here in about 30 minutes or so. Then I'll make that public and you guys can watch that. So glad to see you, Jean. Good to see you, Kathy. Good to see all of you guys. Oh, you did? Yeah, you watched Crystal's Joanne boxes. She had that code too. Did that code work for you, Annie? Well, you know, I will tell you this as far as that guy goes, that Richard Allen. I am surprised he's still alive anyway. I didn't think that any of the people that he was in jail with, I didn't think they'd let him live. They've had to really keep an eye on him, right? So you happened upon it. That's fun. It'll be fun to see what you got, Annie. And prizes went out this week. Anybody who had won something, I sent out Breezy's prize. Chelsea has sent out. Annie, you'll be getting a box. Karen, you'll be getting a box from Chelsea that has been sent to you. I haven't had a chance. I will get you a tracking number. Okay. So, who else? I think that's it. I sent out another package to Warm Up America of some some squares that I had here, but I'll talk about all that on Sunday. You guys have a great weekend. I love y'all. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you had fun tonight. I mean, domestic violence is not funny. It's not funny. But it was fun making fun of John Wayne Bobbitt's wiener. That was fun, I must say. So you guys have a great night. I love you, and we'll see y'all later, okay? Thanks, y'all.